I woke up just before dawn, the faint glow of the early morning seeping in through the bedroom blinds. It was one of those peaceful moments. The house was quiet, my mind still foggy from sleep. My body wanted to roll over and drift off again, but I couldn't. Like every morning, my thoughts went straight to my baby girl. I reached over to the nightstand and grabbed the baby monitor, rubbing my eyes as the little screen flickered to life. There she was, curled up under her blanket in the crib, her chest rising and falling gently. I felt my heart swell. She was the best thing that had ever happened to me. From the monitor's speaker, I heard my wife's soft, familiar hum. "Go to sleep, she sang, her voice calm and soothing. I cracked a small smile, warmth spreading through my chest. Hearing my wife sing to our daughter was one of those little things that made all the sleepless nights worth it. She always had that magic touch, calming the baby when I couldn't. Propping the baby monitor against my coffee mug, I shuffled to my home office down the hall. I kept the monitor with me so I could get a little work done while keeping an eye, or rather, an ear, on the baby. The house was still so quiet, except for my wife's gentle singing that drifted in and out over the monitor's speaker. It was comforting, like a lullaby for all of us. I sat at my desk and flicked on the lamp, starting to organize the paperwork I'd been avoiding. But as I reached for a pen, a strange noise came from the monitor. The baby stirred briefly, letting out a tiny fuss, and then I heard my wife's voice again, this time a bit lower. "Shoo, it's okay, sweetheart. Go to sleep. Daddy's got you." My brow furrowed. That was strange. Why would she say that? I was here, in the office, nowhere near the baby. I leaned in closer, staring at the little screen. Everything seemed normal. My wife's voice returned, almost a whisper now. "It's okay, baby. Go to sleep." The uneasy feeling crept up slowly, like a cold draft sneaking in under the door. I shook it off. Maybe I was just overthinking it. Parents say weird things when they're tired. Maybe she thought she was comforting the baby by mentioning me. Yeah, that had to be it. I relaxed a little, chuckling to myself. "You're being paranoid," I told myself. But before I could reach for the stack of papers again, I heard it, the front door. Click. My heart skipped. I froze in place, listening. There was the distinct shuffle of keys, and the unmistakable sound of grocery bags rustling. I shot up from my chair, gripping the monitor tightly. "What the?" Then I heard her voice. "Hey, Han. I'm home. Could you help me with the bags?" It was my wife. I stood there, heart pounding, unable to move. My gaze dropped to the baby monitor in my hand. The screen still showed the nursery. There was my baby girl, tucked under her blanket. And that same soft humming, "Go to sleep, go to sleep." But the front door had opened. And my wife was standing downstairs. It felt like the air had been sucked out of my lungs. The voice on the monitor, it couldn't be her. "Han," she called again from the front door, her footsteps echoing as she came inside. Panic clawed at my throat. My mind raced, trying to piece together what was happening. If my wife was downstairs, then who was in the nursery? I bolted from my office, my heart hammering in my chest as I stumbled down the hall to the nursery. Every instinct screamed at me to get to my baby. The door to the nursery was slightly ajar. I reached out with a trembling hand and slowly pushed it open. The room was dim, bathed in the soft glow of the nightlight. My baby girl lay sound asleep in her crib, peaceful and undisturbed. But there was no one else in the room. My pulse thudded in my ears. I stepped inside, my eyes darting to every corner, every shadow. Nothing. "Sweetie," my wife called from downstairs again. I could hear the concern in her voice now. "Are you okay?" I didn't answer. I couldn't. My hands were still shaking as I turned back to the monitor. The screen flickered, static crackling softly for a second. And then, a low hum came through the speaker, faint and distorted, like a recording of a lullaby played underwater. And there, mixed in with the hum, was a voice. A voice that sounded exactly like my wife. "Shoo. Go to sleep." I stared at the monitor, my skin crawling. The voice was coming from the nursery. But I was standing right there. And I was completely alone.